Well, hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Everyday EDC, a very rocky section because I'm doing this sooner than my normal route when I do this. I normally would do this as I'm driving on like a smoother road, but I got some other stuff that, some calls and shit that I gotta get done. So, I don't think I labeled Friday, and if I did, correct me, right? I don't remember labeling it, so I might be in a situation where I don't have a label today. So what I ended up doing was I went with Fixed Blade Friday. I'm only carrying two knives. One of them is a fixed blade. One of them is the pocket knife in my pocket. I don't normally carry fixed blades, but when I do, it's badass. Actually, no, I have some very mundane fixed blades. You guys know I'm not a fixed blade channel, but I do kind of get into them a little bit. My buddies Sammy and Ryan, those dudes will probably make fun of my fixed blade because they're like into these hardcore fixed blades. By hardcore, I mean like, I don't want to spend that much money on a fixed blade. They have no problem spending what we would spend on, I don't know, a Wii or a Riyadh, and they just have no problem with it. Anyways, sorry I got distracted. There's a train in an area that there's never normally a train, setting me back even further. Without further ado, my fixed blade knife for the day is the Civivi Elementum. This is the non-contoured handles. This is the G10 D2. I think, in my opinion, this is one of... it sounds stupid. I haven't felt that many fixed blades. I've had 6, 7, short of cooking knives, right? But in my opinion, this is probably one of my favorites that I own. I own the M2 backup, which I was going to take today just to show off because it's newer. But I didn't have the setup. I like to carry scout carry if I'm going to carry it like that. And I didn't have it set up that way, and I was in a bit of a hurry. So this one's already set up for scout carry. Very, very cool, man. It's ergonomic enough. It's not like a killer ergonomics, but pretty damn good. The balance, let's see here. Sneezed if it cuts out. So I'm trying to adjust the video. The balance is kind of hard to find. It's like right there. Choked up position in Civivi's weird upside down flipper tab works pretty damn well. And this is a hollow grind that comes down to a relatively narrow edge. The blade stock, I would give it maybe 150 thousandths, if that. But overall, if I had to get rid of all my fixed blades and keep one, this would be the one right now. I thoroughly enjoy this. I also have the Civivi. Oh god, it was one that I always wanted as soon as it came out, like in pictures a year and a half ago. I forget. It's that big, goofy looking blade. It's cool, I just don't know what the hell. It's more of a kitchen knife than anything. Like this to me is like an everyday carry. And to be honest, this is almost, for a fixed blade, I would totally carry a fixed blade. But I think I would want it almost smaller than this. I don't know that I want a large fixed blade. So I think that makes sense for like an everyday carry situation. I'm not like an outdoors, like let's go, I'm not like buying knives to go camping. Now I do go camping at times, which I'll use the crap out of my knives, but it's not something I do on an everyday basis or, you know, plan, 7 times a year to go camping. It might be once a year, twice a year. So if I were to keep a fixed blade, it would be this one. I am kind of looking at some others, but, folding knives always take priority. It's like, I have one, I think, in my cart now. It's Bradford Guardian 3, which would be like a step up, and you get to experience it, But now that I'm feeling fixed blades and kind of looking for what I might want out of a fixed blade a little bit more, I think I want the, a little bit, probably, like, I really like this shape, but I don't know if I want a little bit more belly or not. Like, this is really, really good. So I got to do some more soul searching on that topic because I'm not sure. But this is the Civivi Elementum in D2 G10 fixed blade. Very, very cool knife. I'm happy to own it. I don't know that I'll ever get rid of this because this is, at the very least, you just throw it somewhere and use the crap out of it, right? I got the QSP Bison, and this just crushes the Bison, in my opinion, as far as practicality. All right, next. I don't know if I've shown you guys this once or twice or whatever, but I got a smudge on the pocket clip. This has been in my car for a while, and I'm not sure why. Like, it's like one of those that, like, I think it's like you want to like, and then you end up taking the other thing in with you when you get to work or whatever. But we had a moment last night. This is one of those moments where it clicks with you, right? I had my smock with me all day yesterday. Fucking love that thing. So I'm fidgeting with it, you know, back and forth, back and forth. So now I'm in like fidget mode, where you got the smock, where you can pretty much do anything you need to do to fidget. I've been talking with, I believe his name was John from EEDC, and super cool guy, but I've been talking in preparations for my review on the QSP Nimble, and he's been an open book, and like I got some cool stuff to share with you guys as far as like what he's told me as far as the production and how this went, but this being in my car, for some reason, I don't know if I've never held it right or what, but I never used it. And then I got back in my car last night, and I pick it up, and I'm just driving home. It's like 12 o'clock at night, and you fidget. So I picked this up, and I'm like, wait a second. That feels awesome. That feels really good, despite barely having your pinky on there when you're not choked up. Okay. You know, and I'm looking at it, and then I do this, and it falls shut better than that. I'm like, wow. All right. And then I go, Okay. All right. So, having fidgeted with the smock all day, you would think like in fidget mode, like nothing will compare, right? No. This thing like compares. It's got so many different opening methods that it's great. But then the lock bar is super light, but like strong, right? I mean, obviously I'm not worried about it collapsing, but it's light to press back and forth. It's like perfectly tuned in my opinion. Like if you ever felt the Hinderer lock bar, those are my favorite. They're like lightweight, but strong. Not like so the Medfords that I had, and this isn't my knock on Medford. You guys already know how I feel about that, and I'm not rehashing it. But those Medfords, their lock bars were like, holy shit. The dude that I sold one to, ended up putting it back up for trade the same day because he said the same thing. He's like, man, this is a really cool carry, but it's like so thin, and then the lock bar is kind of hard to access. Like it's tight and it's strong, and it's like, yeah, dude, like it's a good knife, but you know, it's just like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but as far as Fidget Factor goes, you know, it doesn't really do it for you. So this is number 89 of the EMP Nimble. So I'm carrying this today. Pretty excited to carry this too. I think this is going to be awesome. One thing that I can say when you're fidgeting, this is a weird point that I never noticed on a knife before. Not a complaint, because knives aren't fidget toys, they're knives. But there's a point, let's see, as you're fidgeting with it. So it's the back of this. This corner right here, it's actually comfortable in every other sense of the word, right? Super comfortable. Even when you're choked back, it's comfortable. But when you're fidgeting, its ass is like rubbing against your palm, right? And it's just sharp enough to kind of wear your palm out. And ironically, it's like one of the few places they didn't knock down. That's the problem. I'm not sure why we didn't knock it down. You know, again, it's a Fidget Factor thing. It's not a function thing. It's just when you're fidgeting. And it took me a while to notice it, okay? So it's not like something that you're like, oh man, on the first or 10th flip you notice. I mean, I drive an hour each day to work, so, you know, that is what it is. But very, very cool. Very comfortable in hand. You got a lot of control. My concern here would be, if you look, when you cut and you're choked up with a short blade, I feel like you're going to draw through the material too quick, right? So I would love to see a Warncliffe or maybe like a cleaver that's around this size that has like good ergonomics. Oh wait, there is one, the Thick Boy. So the Thick Boy, I don't know if he sold them all out, but I like talked to myself in and out of it, and then like him being a nice guy, and then me like sitting here and being like, wow, I love the Nimble. I actually went home and purchased the Thick Boy. So we have one of those coming in like October, November time frame. I'm super stoked about it. I think it's super cool, and I'm really excited to support him as a designer because somebody that's fully transparent with us as far as what goes on is amazing. And I'll show you what that transparency is when we get to the review of this knife. But all in all, I think this knife is so far really cool. That being said, full disclosure, I haven't carried it short of like in the truck. I haven't taken it into work with me yet. And last night I was like on such a high. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna start collecting EMP designs. Like, I was falling in love with this. I got the thick boy on the way, and then I'm like, dude, carry it. You're not gonna trade it. Like, and don't get me wrong, I carry everything that I'm gonna review, but like sometimes it takes me a while, you know, and I pick other stuff, and so that's kind of where that was. Well, this, I'm not sure if I'm gonna trade this or not, but I as it stands right now, I have no intentions to, but you guys know me on that. But all in all, this is a badass knife. Badass. I can't wait for the thick boy. He's got more stuff in the works that he can't talk about yet, so that's coming in like, I don't know if it's dropping in 6 weeks or if it's like, you know, or their news dropping in 6 weeks. There's obviously more coming. He wants to stay up with the time, so that's very, very cool, and I'm super stoked. My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. This is the EMP Nimble, manufactured by QSP, and that has a good story behind it, so stay tuned for the review. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great friggin' rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much for watching.